Reaction has to continue, and today's video I'm going to say this: Marwa is so lucky. It is a good thing he did not put a ring in Rosio's finger. Rosio is speaking in a critic message. To me, it is a good thing that she left Marwa, because Marwa could have been in a great danger. You see, this is the thing. Take time to know her. And Marwa did not take time to know her. If Marwa could know all these things that Rosio she's now mentioning, I bet he wouldn't marry her or took her to the house. Marwa took somebody that he himself never expected, and he is very lucky to have escaped alive. She talks about the occult. She talks about seeing devil's face. That's projection. Rosio was not a normal person, including her tattoos of snake. In African tradition, a snake represents nothing pure, nothing good. Maybe in Western civilization, it represents something different. I'm going to talk about that. The title suggests it all. Watch these clips, then we dive deep.
I remember when one night I was sleeping and I had this very, very vivid dream where I saw around my, like I was sleeping, but this is inside of this dream, okay? That I saw 7 very tall, very beautiful, very lighting. There was like glitter in the air. 7 beings, very tall, very beautiful. 7 of them just standing around me in my bed. I was like in my bed, and they were around me. And I swear it was one of the moments that I felt the highest love. Very hard to forget. They didn't have a good experience, so they always kept their faith, but I also think that their faith is quite diverse in many other beliefs as well, and I was part of that. I have always believed in God, but I used to call him the universe because I was associating God with religious. And me and religious, we never get along. We never did. I have always believed that religion is a man's construction that is designed to create division. And I've always been against the church because I felt that it is one of the darkest institutions in human history that had leaders and leaders and leaders of blood run in the name of God. So I think that is what actually separated me a little bit. But
Beautiful people, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video in this amazing YouTube channel. For those who are coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, it goes by the name Maxwell Lumumba Africa, and basically I do reaction videos, especially to other videos that have been posted in public domain. I also have another YouTube channel that goes by the name Vibe with Lumumba. Let us support all this channel, and for those who have not subscribed, let us make sure that we subscribe, like, comment, and share these videos to other individuals. Remember to turn on the notification bell so that any day, anytime I post any video, you people watch my videos to the end without skipping those ads that you see there. That being that, let us show love to this YouTube channel. Let us like my all videos. Let us comment. Let me start by taking this opportunity to appreciate all the individuals who are standing in for Mayani's family. Great things are happening. For those who have contributed to actually the GoFund that is meant for Mayani's widow. Let us continue supporting her. The last time I was checking, 411 euros. The money is intact. The money is there. So that is what we show. That is what it means by transparency and accountability. Everybody can scrutinize what is being seen there. Everybody can see what is happening. If you contributed up to now, not even €1 has been withdrawn. That is something that I have to come on camera and say that. And that is basically money to support Mayani's widow. Yeah. Having said that, let me take this opportunity to tell us that tomorrow I took just a small break, but today I still have lunch from Zims that has not been actioned. I still have the refreshment money from Mama Tandy. So that means today I'm going to purchase the Zims lunch, the Mama Tandy Foundation refreshment for today being on a Friday, and tomorrow it will be, today Friday it is Zims, tomorrow that is Saturday will be Mama Tandy Foundation supporting the Masons and the Handman, and that is basically the amount of money that I'm left with for lunch. I saw another 1,000 shillings from somebody called Karen. I don't know if that money was to be used for lunch. 1,000 shillings, yeah, but I'll use it to support what Zims sent, because Zims sent us money that actually was for something like okay, she highlighted, she said that either masoda or meals. Yeah, it was 3,000 and something. So that means I'll be taking these 1,000 shillings from Karen, then put it there. Also, Shirley sent 40 USD to my PayPal account, and the instruction was to use it in the construction, or whichever way that we'll be using it with Gintu to do construction. So that means I'll be transferring that money I'll be transferring that money maybe to Gintu so that he can handle that, or with an alternative of me going there, I see what is lacking, then we action what is lacking. Then I also have money sent to buy padlock, the alarm padlock from AY. She sent me money yesterday night, so I'm going to action that I think there is no any hanging amount of money that I was sent. If there is somebody who sent me money and I've not spoke about that money, just come here in the comment section, say that Max, I sent you money and I've not heard my name. And there is money that was sent by Mina, and she instructed me to send it to Masubo One so that it can be help. It is supposed to help Masubo One in that other end. I did that, and I think I forward her my bank message that I've directed the money to the person that you told me. So that is how things are working, and that is what I can say from my end. Let us get away from all the speculation that we see online here, because haters are there. Our work is to make it happen, and every information I don't know they're saying about what, those are false accusations. I've accounted 100%. If anybody who sent me money and you can't see that money, or you don't see where I mentioned that money, or you have never seen what you said it is supposed to be action, and I, Maxwell Lumumba, have never action. I speak for myself. That is the money that I've received so far. All the individuals I've said, I give them the information how their money has been used. I give them the receipts and everything. Yeah. So that being that, let me say also this: I'll be going to Eldoret to handle some my personal business things, so I won't be around tomorrow and maybe Sunday, because I have to go to Eldoret because some of my things are not working out well from that other side. I'll show us how life in Eldoret is, what I do, especially when I'm in Eldoret. Maybe the next time I'll be showing us what I do when I'm in Meru, what I do when I'm in Nairobi. So basically, maybe for tomorrow's video, I'll be showing us what I do, actually what I do when I'm in Eldoret. That is what I'll be showing us. So tomorrow, that is why today I'm going to sort the issue of lunch today and tomorrow. And from that means I don't have any other subscribers' money left with me. Yeah, if there is any money hanging anywhere, just come out and tell us, and let us continue supporting the widow. That is through the GoFundMe. Let us support her. I also have some music for the widow. I'll be sharing with her the two music so that she'll be playing them in her YouTube channel. And that being that, reaction continua. Basically, this YouTube channel is meant to do reaction videos. For those who like lifestyle videos, let us support Vibe with Lumumba over there. And today, I'm going deeper, much deeper. Rosio, before even the demise of Mayani, released a video, and she talks about things that shook many. Leave alone the video that we talked about. People have been talking about, I don't know, alcoholism, I don't know what. Leave those alone.
Where I had the session with, I called him and I told him, hey, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And he tells me, wow, Rosio, you are a medium. I knew what a medium was in that moment, but he tells me, you father, anytime that you want, you can talk. You can hear, Rosio. That's your talent, that's your gift. That's what he's told to me.
So, Rosio, she talks about seeing the face of the devil. She talks about leaving her body. She talks about surrounded by people, and she even touches on the idea that she fall under what many people called the occult. And let me say this. Now when people hear these things, in the first section, it is fear, judgment, or confusion. But today, we are not reacting emotionally. We are going to break this down slowly, logically, and carefully, because sometimes what sounds spiritual can be psychological, and what sounds mysterious can be symbolic. And let me say this, let's first understand something very important. The word occult simply means hidden knowledge, secret practices, things that are not easily explained by a normal or a science or a religion. So it includes things like symbolism, spiritual interpretation, and what we call mystical experiences. Now, here is where people make a mistake. Not everything that sounds occult is dangerous. Sometimes it is how the human mind processes deep emotion and experience. Let me talk about out of the body experience, because Rosio herself said that she left her body and looked at herself.
I was falling asleep, that I started to have what we call as astral projections, where I was abandoning my body and I was able to see myself sleeping in the bed, but like from the outside of the bed. I knew that was like a second in this world, in this terrenal world, but when I was outside of my body, time didn't exist, so I didn't know how long that took, but for me, when I think rational, it was just a second.
Now many people will hear that and immediately think something supernatural, but let's slow down. This is something known as out of the body experience, and this happens in stress. We know what Rosio has undergone. Trauma, we know what trauma causes. deep sleep. We know even some of us even have been dreaming about being chased by supernatural people and emotional overload. So this is the brain's way of stepping outside reality for a moment. So instead of jumping to fear, we ask, was this spiritual experience or a psychological one? And let me say this. Rosio goes ahead and says that seeing the devil. She said she saw the face of the devil. Now, this is where interpretation becomes very important, because the word devil does not always mean literally being. Sometimes it represents fear, inner darkness, emotional conflict, guilt. So in psychology, the brain creates powerful images to express things we cannot explain in words. So when someone says, I saw the devil, we must ask, was she describing something external or something internal? And she goes ahead and says about 7 beings. This part is very deep, and I'll be telling us what it means by the 7 devils, the 7 beings, because she said she was on bed surrounded by 7 men. Now the number is 7, not random. It appears in many systems, religious, spiritually, and psychologically. Yeah? And one of the most famous connection is the 7 deadly sins. So let us go through them slowly, because the way I can just mention them, then we go deeply into that. We have pride being one of them, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. Those are 7 deadly sins. Okay, actually the 7 deadly sins. So I'm going to read what these 7 deadly sins says. Let me get something, so as we know what it means by all these 7 deadly sins. Yeah, it is here. So let me start with pride. Consider the original and most serious sin, representing selfishness and unjustified sense of superior. And we know we can relate that to Rosio very well. We can see greed, an excessive desire for wealth, money, or material possession. We can relate still this to Rosio. We can see lust, an intense, uncontrolled physical desire or illicit sexual appetite. Still, we can relate that. I'm trying to read, yeah? We can relate that to Rosio. I can see envy, resenting others for their advantage, talents, and possession, often leading desire to take from them. Still, these, we can relate these to her. And we have the gluttony, over indulgence and over assumption of anything. Still, we can relate that to Rosio. Then I can talk about wrath. Wrath means anger, for those who have never seen that, because some people have been claiming when she's very angry, you get the face turns reddish. So that tells us that uncontrolled feelings of anger, rages, or hatred, often leading to vengefulness. And what we are now seeing from Rosio wants to revenge. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the sloth. Laziness, spiritual apathy, or failure to act and use one's talent. That is very evident. I don't need to explain. And what I can say, now listen carefully. I'm not saying that those being are the 7 sins, but symbolically, they could represent human desires, temptations, or internal struggle. This is how symbolic thinking works. Let me talk about the snake symbol, because some people will be asking that, for us it is normal, but in Africa, I'll be telling us how the tradition was. And let us talk about the snake tattoo. There is where culture plays a big role. In many African traditions, snakes are associated with danger, misery, spiritual power, but in Western culture, snake can represent transformation, rebirth, healing. So the same symbol has completely different meaning depending on culture, and this is where misunderstanding happen. Let me talk about Marwa situation, because I have to talk about it. Some people are saying, including me, Marwa is lucky, this relationship ended. But instead of emotional conclusions, let us think clearly. What we are seeing here is two people from different worlds, different culture, different... Hello? Good morning. Sasa wapeleke kazo Nyororo, alafu ukuje, kuna mali nafani kimbie before niende kwa Mayani, utakuja unichukue na pikipiki. Yeah, that is okay. That is a call for somebody who's supposed to carry me to Mayani's place. So I was saying that these are two people with very different worlds, different cultures, different beliefs, different emotional system, and something that alone is enough to create conflict. I came on camera, I spoke about cultural differences, where Rosio comes from the West, Marwa comes from an African setup. So we don't, because Marwa never took time to know how to learn the culture. Same to Rosio, never took time to learn the African culture. So that is why we are seeing what is this happening. And I also came on camera, I say that Marwa, I say that Marwa has to be very careful, because when Rosio spoke ill about Marwa, especially all the accusations about Marwa, let me say this, Marwa said something that he is not going to respond to Rosio. That is something good, because if you try to poke the bear while sleeping, that bear will attack you. We know Rosio. Rosio wasn't employed when she was in Kenya, when she was in the village. So we didn't see any hobby in Rosio. So that means Rosio was hardworking in planting some landmines, waiting for the right time to explode for Marwa. But what I can say about that, if there is somebody who is going to make sure that Marwa falls, or the downfall of Marwa will come from Rosio. The same way in the other side in Poland, the downfall of Dimwango will be Pero herself. So this tells us that these people don't wish us all the best. And let me talk about critical thinking. And it is easy to label people, to say this is bad, this is dangerous, this is evil. But real understanding requires something else: patience, analysis, perspective. So because not everything we don't understand is dangerous. And this story is not just about Rosio or Marwa. It is about something bigger. It is about how culture shapes meaning, the mind creates symbols, and people interpret realities differently. And what one person calls spiritual, another one calls it psychological, and another calls it symbolic. So the question is not who is right. The question is, are we thinking deeply enough to understand it? And let me say this: when this happens, it happens for a reason. Goodbye for now. Let us meet in the next video. In today's video, because I have to do videos when I'm purchasing everything, then from tomorrow I'll be in Eldoret. I'll be doing only for 2 days. I'll be doing my logs from there. I'll be doing my I'll be doing my reaction from that side today and tomorrow, because I still have another reaction videos that I'm going to release it maybe today or tomorrow, because we know the situation that has been going on. So that is why I haven't been doing reaction videos. Reaction continua.